Hi, this is Psychic Medium Danielle Garcia with your energy forecast for the week. Today's energy forecast is for the week of December 28th, 2020. Whew, only a few more days left of this year. Are you ready for it to be over? I think I am. No, I know I am. I checked the Schumann resonance today, and today is actually Sunday the 27th, and it was vibing at a 10. So hooray, no big spikes right now with the Schumann. Christmas Day, I think it was at a 45. Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. I'm sorry, my time kind of runs all together. I was really enjoying the holidays. But I do know that many people reported back to me that they were having issues with headaches and emotions running high and so on and so forth. So knock on wood, hopefully the Schumann resonance just keeps on balancing out. We do have a full moon coming in. So usually when there is a full moon, we do see historically the Schumann resonance spike. But, we'll just see how that all plays out. Deep breaths. Okay, I hope you all had a great holiday and got to spend some time with loved ones and friends, even though, of course, most of us weren't able to do the same type of gatherings that we would, right? So I do hope that you were able to have a great time with your loved ones. Know that as we go into this week, the energies are setting up to be very emotional. So knowing that, knowledge is power, right? It gives us an opportunity to prep and be ready. It gives us an opportunity to understand that if we do tend to be more emotionally driven, as most empaths and sensitives are, going into an emotional week, if we have an issue, if we have a meltdown, if we have a breakdown, we know that, okay, it's not just me being crazy. These are the energies right now. I can ground, I can hydrate, I can phone a friend, I can get outside, I can move my body. Especially with quarantine, and again, I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on TV, so please seek medical advice from a doctor. I have noticed through my practice, as well as my personal life, and dealing with so many different empaths and sensitives that are clients and students, it's amazing to me how many of us have issues with vitamin D, that we're vitamin D deficient. Now think of how many of us have been in quarantine for the majority of 2020. Not going outside, taking our regular walks, not going to the beach, not laying out, not doing this, not doing that outside. So vitamin D is also, if you're deficient, it can also create depression. I'm not saying that everyone that's depressed is vitamin D deficient, so please don't comment and send me emails and stuff about that. I am giving you this information, so if it resonates with you, you may just either want to get checked or just start taking a supplement or research and see what particular foods are high in vitamin D. Simply going out and exposing yourself to the sunlight and being outside and walking and, and getting some good sun vibes is very transformative. So something to keep in mind. Monday's vibes. So now we only have one planet that's in retrograde. Whew, a lot better than having 6 planets in retrograde, how we were just a few months ago, right? Our planet that's currently in retrograde is Uranus. Now, when we have one planet in retrograde going into the age of Aquarius, in between this big conjunction and all these other things going on galactically, the retrograde energy of that particular planet is amplified. So things that are represented, let me back that up. Uranus's energy is known for, Uranus is a male. Sorry, just had to add that in. Stereotypically, Uranus is known as the awakener. Uranus is about big change, sudden change, shock and awe. It's about disruption and upheaval and allowing big change to come through, sometimes big drama. So Monday, Uranus's energies are really going to be amplified. So don't be surprised if you experience some of these different attributes of that planet. And also please remember that this planet is also represented by freedom from restriction. So sometimes when we go through big upheavals, big emotional issues, big shock and awe, it can bring about positive change and freedom from restriction. So knowing that, be prepped and ready for Monday. Coming into the week as well, Tuesday is the Cancer full moon. For all of us water signs out there, it's going to be incredibly emotional, or has the potential to be incredibly emotional. So I'm a water sign, and knowing that, I'm probably going to make sure I go out for a walk the morning of. I'm going to make sure I'm drinking a lot of water. I'm going to make sure I've got some sound healing on, my favorite crystals nearby. I like to go on YouTube and just look at stupid animal videos. Not stupid animals, but funny animal videos, because it's just light, it's bright. I've always got a couple comedies in my phone, or, my playlist on Netflix or Amazon Prime, something that will just keep my spirits up. It's not going to be a day where you want to watch tearjerkers like Terms of Endearment or Steel Magnolias or something along those lines. You'll want to really keep it light, because the energies are going to be emotional enough as is. This is the last moon of 2020. So with that brings a sense of closure, a sense of completion. Again, very, very emotional. It's also connected to relationships and connections. So it gives us an opportunity to look at the relationships in our lives. Which relationships are positive, which relationships are not so positive. Because this is an emotional full moon, and most full moons, let's just give it up, are emotional anyways. But being that it's Cancer full moon, it amplifies those energies, because Cancer is a water sign. So this is an opportunity to look at the emotionality of our relationships and connections. How are we being emotionally supported in our relationships? Or are we? Are we being nurtured? Are we being supported? Are we being cared for? Are we being ghosted? Are we being, left high and dry? And it's to take a look at that. And it's also to take a look at our relationship with ourselves. Are we valuing our own emotions? We teach other people how to treat us. So if we are selling ourselves short, then those people that we are connected to will see that, and they'll take that as a guide on how to treat us as well. So this full moon is an opportunity to look at those relationships, both positive and not so positive, those that are loving and supportive and those that are not loving and supportive. And it's a good time to make some decisions, set some healthy boundaries, do some, energetic cord cutting if need be. And it's a nice reset. It's a way to look at your own emotions. How do you handle them? How do you express them? My emotions run very high. I'm not going to lie, because everybody would rat me out anyways. And for so very long, I would say probably most of my life, I start out explaining something with, I'm sorry, but I really feel upset about this. I'm sorry, but I really feel angry about this. I'm sorry, but I really feel strongly about this. Screw the apologies. It's time to be okay with feeling. It's time to be okay with your emotions. It's time to be okay with expressing them. And how anybody receives that information or accepts that information or doesn't accept that information, that's on them. That's not on you. No longer are we to hide from our emotions. Remember, age of Aquarius, it's all about freedom. It's all about authenticity. So allow yourself to be authentic with your truth, to be authentic with how you feel. I'm also going to post a video following this one with a nice full moon ceremony that I love to do, especially at the end of the year. So watch for that. Wednesday, our eclipse season for 2020 ends. Woohoo! We made it. Eclipses in 2020 were all about your authentic self, finding your truth, finding your power, finding your mission, finding your purpose. And it's a wonderful transition into the age of Aquarius, which has the theme of freedom. We are going to move into New Year's Day coming up this week. And that brings in a sentimental longing for days past, ideas past, vibes of what could have been, vibes of what should have been. This is a day when historically people kind of look back, okay, what worked, what didn't work, what do I need to set my New Year's resolutions for, how can I change it, and so on and so on and so forth. But with the planetary energies on New Year's Day, that's going to be amplified even more so. So do a gut check if you start going off kilter here of coulda, woulda, shoulda. Look at this as more of, okay, what can I learn from the past? And look to see what the truth is. You know, sometimes we make a mistake or we're not as successful as we wish we would have been, and we're super hard and critical of ourselves. But we don't necessarily pull back and look at the whole situation from the higher perspective. We don't necessarily see the whole truth. We're programmed to look at the bad, to look at the negative, to look at the mistake, and just really, really amplify that instead of thinking, you know, if I hadn't made that mistake, I wouldn't have gone in this direction, and then I wouldn't be here where I really, really want to be. Instead, usually what our human brain will do is, well, why didn't I get here sooner, right? So when you start beating yourself, if you start beating yourself up, my guides are tapping me on the back here to change that wording. If you start beating yourself up about that, take a step back. Ask for spirit to show you only truth. Ask for your higher self to reveal to you, to allow you to sense, feel, know pure truth. And sit with that. Allow yourself to embrace that truth. Embrace the understanding of that truth. And things will be so much easier as you set about intentions and learnings and understandings for the new year, as well as when you look back on 2020. So 2021 in numerology is a 5-year. Represents freedom, change, learning from mistakes, new opportunities, and big decisions. That's the running theme for 2021. Going into the age of Aquarius, it's a nice partnership for that type of a theme. When we look at 2021 as an angel number, this refers to faith, holding on to faith, trusting in Creator, trusting in God, trusting in Spirit, that all is well, that all is working out in divine time. It also indicates in angel numbers of 2021 that you need to observe your thoughts because your thoughts create your own reality, which is a nice reminder I think that we all need. Now, January, the first couple weeks of January, as it sets up galactically with all the different planetary energies, it's a nice way to move into that Aquarian energy. You know, first couple weeks, it's all going to be about acclamation and peace, love and light, yada, yada, yada. And then the second 2 weeks right now are setting up to be pretty intense. January, the way it's astrologically set out, will set the tone for the entire year of 2021. So I think partnering that knowing and understanding with the reminder of the angel number, what you think about, you bring about, be mindful of your thoughts, for they create your reality. You know, let's just all hold true to that and set about creating the next year as a year of big change, of big freedom, and of moving forward into more light. I am going to pull a few cards. To get my cards ready. Whoops. So today I will be pulling from the Mystic Shaman Oracle deck. I absolutely love this deck. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. And this one to me is one of my favorite shamanic decks. So many of the different shamanic decks that I have a lot of imagery in it. Have a lot of different, elemental energy as well as nature energy. And just take me to a place that the angel decks and other oracle card decks that I have just really don't take me. Shamanism is a big, big part of my work, a big, big part of my heart, and a huge part of my soul and past life remembrance. And we've got cards flying. Awesome. All right, many paths. Take a look at this card. Okay, many paths. I love staring at this card because I always see these cards, because I always see more and more imagery in it the longer that I look at it. So as we are referring to the weekly forecast with this card and how it pertains, many paths. There's many paths that we can take. There's a heart here in the center of the figure that's depicted in the middle of the card. There's a big golden disc over the third eye, lots of stars, and there's the water element that is also here. So as I look at this card and I feel the energies of it, there are many paths that we can take. Absolutely. There's not just one path to light, right? Or enlightenment. So make sure that you take the path that you wish to take to reach higher ground, to reach higher understanding, to reach higher light. And your path may not look like someone else's path. We are all unique, yet we are all connected. And I think that's an important thing to remember. Next card. Soul retrieval. Ooh, got chills on this one. Very, very beautiful card. So check this one out. I love that there is a moon depiction behind the soul retrieval, and that this is a wonderful transformation. It is a butterfly coming out of cocoon. Soul retrieval in shamanism is capturing soul fragments, places within the soul, parts of the soul, if you will, that have fragmented due to trauma, disruption, illness, emotional upset, all sorts of different things. So when we fragment, a piece of us goes missing. And the shaman will actually journey for the client and go collect different soul fragments, bring those fragments back. The shaman will heal those fragments and then blow them back into the aura of the client and help them to integrate those fragments so that they are now whole and complete. When I read the soul retrieval card, I just keep hearing authenticity, 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 truth, 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 freedom. We're rising to a different vibration now where the veil is so incredibly thin. And many of us are awakening to new skills and remembering old skills that we have had before in prior lifetimes. And when I read soul retrieval, this is about us becoming more and more complete with our soul, healing those old wounded places within us, whether it's from this lifetime or lifetimes past. And I think that that's a huge part of this age of Aquarius and the freedom that we are all so ready for. One more card, and let's see what comes through. Taming the Wind. Ooh, chills on this one. Lots and lots and lots of imagery in this card. Taming the Wind. Okay, so when I look at this card, this image feels female to me. She's wearing a headdress. There's another female depiction within the headdress here. Lots of beads hanging down. Taming the wind. Wind is so purifying. Sometimes I just like to drive out to Red Rock, and it's a 2-lane highway, and I roll down all the windows in my Jeep, and I will just let it all out, whether I'm angry, happy, mad, sad, stressed out, whatever it is. And I just let it all out, and I love how the wind just embraces that, and it's such a beautiful release, because not only am I hearing those words or cries or screams or whatever it is that I need to release, I'm hearing it. It's activating another part of my brain, And then I'm also feeling the beauty of the wind just coming and taking it away. Taming the wind to me is bringing in that air element. It's bringing in the breath. It's bringing in that release. It's bringing in that clearing. Wind can be incredibly transmutational, as well as it can be incredibly clearing, calm, peaceful, all of these different things. And we can bring and tame that wind with our breath, bringing that breath into our body, using our own breath to release, to activate, to calm, whatever it is that our need is in the moment. Now, seeing as this is going to be a pretty emotional week, I would say that taming the wind represents the air element and breathing into it. Using your breath as a ways and means to balance out. So beautiful card spread. So happy to deliver this information to you. And I hope that you all have a beautiful, 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 blessed week. Take care.